Good afternoon, all you degenerate gamers out there. Happy hump day. And yes, I know that's a boomer saying, but I had family members that used to say it, and I'm going to say it. I'm bringing on the boomer today. Today is Boomer Day, and I say that because I have something special for you today. I have Asmongold calls out Tectone, and I'm going to show you exactly what I mean, because a lot of these streamers, they don't say shit about each other, but sometimes they make statements that call each other out. So today is all about Asmongold and Tectone. I will first start with Asmongold first. I could start with Tectone, but I'm going to start with Asmongold. Let's just listen to Asmongold. This was something that he said yesterday. I think it's yesterday. This is his VOD from yesterday. And you know how Asmongold, he kind of jumps around in topics. So I'm starting out at a point where he's talking about Hollywood and how Hollywood people would talk shit about or would call out to virtue signal and call people out. But let's just see what he has to say.
Nowadays, most YouTube creators, there are so many of them that unless you're basically one of like 3 people, nobody even really cares. So I think that's another really big difference too. What killed the movie stars, their egos.
Here he goes.
You know what I really think did damage to Hollywood, and I don't think people talk about this enough, is the Harvey Weinstein stuff. So the reason why I think it did so much damage to Hollywood is because the Harvey Weinstein stuff came at the same time that you had a bunch of these like celebrities that like, this is whenever the, using social causes as like a political marketing tool.
Yes.
That's when that started to become a very popular thing, right?
Yes.
So you had Harvey Weinstein that comes out, and it's like then, and the worst part about Harvey Weinstein is that there were so many people that like you went back and you looked at them making comments about him. So it's like, obviously, like you knew what was going on, but you didn't do anything about it.
Exactly.
Well, how are you going to go around and lecture people on like, inclusivity or tolerance or, consent or something like that?
So basically what Asmon is saying, you guys knew about Harvey Weinstein and you didn't do anything because it would hurt your career or whatever, right? But you want to lecture everybody on inclusivity, you want to lecture everybody on consent, you want to lecture everybody, but you didn't do anything when this person right here was doing heinous things to women on his casting couch, right? You didn't call anything, you didn't do anything, so you got to shut up. You can't lecture us, right? Right? Okay, so let's move over to Tectone. This is a clip from 5 days ago. I actually think I reacted to this clip and I said something about what Tectone is, I'm about to show you that Tectone said, but I just found it funny that Asmongold inadvertently called out Tectone. Let's see what Tectone has to say.
I absolutely agree. A parent needs to be held accountable for their child's actions.
Background, he was talking about this David guy. Basically, if you don't know, his quote-unquote girlfriend was 12 when she left the house and the mom didn't do anything about it. So he's saying a parent is responsible for their kid's action. And I agree with him here because that girl was only, I think, 12 or 11 when she left home. It's pretty bad. Let's see what Tectone has to say. He has a story to tell.
Especially at that age. For real, if your 11-year-old daughter is talking to a 17-year-old, what the fuck are we doing? I'm going to share a story of my own.
Oh, here we go. He's going to share a story. Here we go. He's thinking about it. And spoiler, I don't 100% believe him here. Actually, I think he's lying, but this is his story. So I know all his fans are going to be like, he's telling the truth.
I had a member of my extended family who I cared about a lot.
Okay.
Very young female.
Okay.
And she was at a very young age.
How old?
And unfortunately, her mother
Okay.
was a BDSM prostitute.
Okay.
And so obviously,
So if the daughter is your family member, the mom would be too. Extended. He did say extended family.
The father wasn't in the picture. And so the daughter learned to be overly interested in, things of that nature that her mom did because she wanted to make her mom proud.
Okay.
And so she became very sexually active at a very young age.
Okay.
And her mom willingly allowed her to have a 19-year-old boyfriend.
Okay. So he knows about this 19-year-old boyfriend. The 19-year-old boyfriend, let's see.
While she was 11.
She was 11.
And no matter how much I berated this woman
Okay.
to take care of her daughter, and how much I berated this woman on how fucking disgusting that she's allowing this shit to happen underneath her own house.
And we're going to get to the part where he's going to do something about it, right? 19 and 11 is pretty bad.
She didn't fucking care.
Okay.
And what happened next will not surprise you. But it's disgusting. And I believe that parents are not held accountable.
What happened next will not surprise me. Okay, I think I could kind of infer what he's saying, but what did he do about it? He did something about it, right? That's pretty bad.
Accountable enough nearly for what they allow their children to do. And I'm sorry, if your child is 11 years old, you need to be helicopter parenting the fuck out of those people.
Okay.
And I was getting paid by the government to.
Okay, so that was the end of the story. So basically, Tectone didn't do anything except for berate the mom. That's all you did. Berate the mom. So Tectone essentially did exactly what Asmongold said that if you do, don't lecture us. So in essence, Tectone should not be lecturing OnlyFans girls on what they should be doing. Tectone shouldn't be lecturing people who are single to get married. He shouldn't be lecturing people of his own age, lecturing them on should they have kids or they should be having kids or why don't you have kids. Tectone should not especially be lecturing us on religion or following God or whatever the hell else he keeps saying, like the church and bullshit like that. Tectone should not be lecturing us on kids in general because according to Tectone, all he did was berate a lady for allowing her kid, 11-year-old child, a family member, an extended family, which could mean like blood relative or not, an extended family member to have relationships, an 11-year-old relationship with a 19-year-old. So the moral of this particular story is that nobody should be listening to Tectone. And Asmongold, the Roach King, I know all of Tectone fans are also Asmongold fans. Tectone has like this far right, like rightoid, weird ass audience member. I always feel like they're the ones that are lashing out on women and people in general for not having kids because they're in the same boat as these people that are lashing out about it. I mean, look at Tectone. He's bitching at people in their 30s, pretty much the same age as Tectone, for not having kids and not being married. And also, like, Tectone, you're on your second marriage. You're on your second marriage. I saw a clip of him talking about this is going to be my first wedding. I like the way he worded that. I assume he means that he and Freem like went to the courthouse or something, so they didn't really have an official wedding. But this is his first wedding. I like that. I like that. Instead of just owning up, you're on your second marriage, bud. You're on your second marriage. You're marrying your future ex-wife number 2. You should already be looking for ex-wife number 3 at this point, because it's not looking good. You don't have a good track record, buddy. But anyway, I thought I would point that out, because Asmongold doesn't really seem to have much to do with Tectone anymore. Tectone still seems to be a little salty about it too. He has mentioned that he moved out of Austin because nobody will talk to him anymore. And I bet if it was just Emaru that wouldn't talk to him anymore, he wouldn't have cared. He wouldn't have cared. He would have just dumped Emaru. But he said multiple people won't talk to him anymore. So I'm assuming that his little circle of OTK people won't talk to him anymore because of that Pink Chew lawsuit that happened, and it made him look really, really bad. So this was just another video to remind everybody, don't let this guy make you feel small. He's a hypocrite. Even his own, I assume, ex-friend now, Asmongold, even said, if you are going to witness something and you don't do anything about it and you allow it to happen, you can't lecture us on anything. And in this instance, Tectone can't lecture us on kids and marriage and religion or anything else. Relationships in general, he can't lecture us on. That's my video for today. Very short video. I have another one I think I'm going to do separately about the AI stuff in Iron Mouse, but we'll see. I'll either do that today or tomorrow. I will talk to you guys again later. I hope you have a wonderful Wednesday. See you later.